Glad to have you back on Ivan Daybreak. Now it's time for our personal finance segment with Charles Fakroha. And he has a lot of things to dish out for us this morning, talking about premarital agreements, introduction, financial stress, marriage, and how to deal with it. These are very important things we need to know before saying I do, or even during the marriage process too. So good morning, Charles, and thank you for being with us.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah. Nice Friday.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. Do you have enough money? Are you at peace with money? Do you argue with your significant person about money? Do you come home filled with happiness, energy with your spouse? Are you fulfilled with the kind of job you are doing today? Does your job reflect your values? Good morning once more again.
Good morning.
These are some of the questions we need to ask ourselves. Okay. So, like you said, when you are going into marriage or getting engaged, there are certain things you need to ask. And that is where, I don't want to use the word prenuptial marriage agreement. I'll say premarital agreement. It's just simply the agreements you have with your spouse before you get married. Then, is it valid in Nigeria here? Yes, it's valid. You know, but the question is, lawyers have said it's a contract.
Yes.
And why do you want to equate your marriage as a contract? Some people say it's a covenant. You go spiritually.
Okay.
But what is the essence of this
Prenup?
You are saying this is how you want your money to be treated. This is how you want to spend your money. This is how you want, when it comes to property, money, finance, this is how you want it done. And most importantly, what happens when there is a divorce? How are you going to share the property? Then you see, in this part of the world, most of us don't go into that kind of agreement. Because we believe that our marriages are Holy Spirit filled. We are not going to have any divorce. Yes, nobody prayed for a divorce. But what about debt? Somebody will tell me, of course, if it's debt, then your will or what arrangement you have made can take care of that. But we need to understand why people go into this kind of agreement. One, it might not be their first marriage. Okay. They had children in previous marriages, and they are so interested in taking care of those children. So going into another marriage again, they want to be sure that the interests of these children are protected. That's why they go into that kind of agreement and say, in the case of divorce or deaths, then so and so benefit should go to my children in these previous marriages. Now, for the male too, or even the female, you could also have an inheritance, and you want it to remain in your family. So if there is no agreement, maybe the house you are living, you know, you inherited it, and you want it to still remain in your family. But after you have married, and there was no agreement, and of course the man will say, this is the house I'm already living, why will you now go back to your family? But if there is an agreement already written, and what we always advise, you know, we don't claim to be lawyers, but we'll tell you, please go and meet a family lawyer or a marriage lawyer, you know, a family lawyer, a lawyer who is skilled in that area, and two of you have your lawyer so that they will advise you after going through the document, then you can sign. Okay. However, it can only be upheld in the court of law.
Yes.
So it's at the discretion of the judge. If, let's say, you have in one of those clauses and you say certain things that are illegal, you know, then the judge will not give it any legal backing. If any items on that agreement is illegal, the judge will say no. It has to be fair, seem to be normal. You know, okay, the property should be divided into two. But take, for example, a case study. Ahmed meets Bukola,
okay,
where Bukola is a sales girl in one of the shopping malls. And Ahmed is one of the sons of a wealthy northerner, maybe Alaji Diko, and they fell in love. Now you can see from different religious background, Bukola is a Christian, Ahmed is a Muslim, and of course the families will be objecting to that kind of marriages. You can see that equal financial opportunity here. Now if Bukola now comes and say, no, I want my future to be protected, so let's sign a premarital agreement. That if anything happens, if there's a divorce or you want to take a second wife, then this is how I'll be compensated. Now, yes, Ahmed can agree, but what we advise, let Ahmed bring his own lawyer too, so that it will be seen to be fair.
Okay.
Those are the times you can also go for a prenup agreement. But we are saying, looking at it spiritually, now, these two people have come together to achieve an aim, jointly facing the attacks that will come before them while they're on this planet. Why do you want to sign a sober business agreement? For me, it's a sober business contract, because you are saying in case there is a divorce, who gets this, who gets that?
But just to chip in, is it not part of risk management? Like you're trying, as you've said, you're trying to secure a future. You don't want to, in quote, lose out on the marriage without having some sort of financial compensation of some sort. So it's all about financial solace, if you want to call it that.
Okay.
Don't you think that that's the reason?
No, we agree. And that's why as marriage counselors, finance experts, we advise you that get your lawyer, let your other spouse to get so that they advise you and you sign. Because it can be an issue.
Okay.
Yes, it can be an issue. Oh, he knows that if we divorce, this is what is going to her, this is what and some people can even just, before you know what, they even walk towards that issue. When the two parties should be involved in getting close to each other and solving some problems in this world in terms of the two of them with that love, pure love that they have, jointly moving together, and others will see them as a form of inspiration. And the world will be a better place for all of us. So if we have this kind of attitude that this agreement, this marriage I'm going into, of course, in the next 5, 7, 10 years, is going to end up in divorce. So it's a little bit dicey. However, we'll advise couples, if two of you agree, there is no problem with that. You can go on with. You can also have a post-nuptial agreement when you are already married. You're already maybe 1, 2, 3, 4 years. You can now come up with an agreement again and say, okay, yes, in case I die or there's a divorce, this is how we are going to share our property. So that, but when it comes to custody of the children, yes, it depends on the state law. But any judge will want to see that the children are given maximum priority when it comes to a divorce.
Okay. And when it comes to issues of finance, especially, that would also be one of the top parameters in judging who gets the custody of the children, because the judges are concerned about the well-being of the children.
Of course, the well-being, welfare of the children.
Okay.
Yes.
So the financial health of either spouse is also instrumental.
Very instrumental. Yes. Because if they see that yes, the children are still small, then why give custody to the father? Because he won't be able to take care of them. Knowing fully well, even if the father has the financial capacity, but they will still say, well, let the mother keep the child, of course, and now say, okay, every month this is what you are supposed to be for child maintenance, But we've seen that this thing has gotten to a situation where there is bad blood among couples. So from day one, we are asking these couples, you are embarking on a journey, and there is no return in this journey. So you must have that high aim of saying, I want to be with this person. Of course, we have said for better, for worse. However, there is a clause to that. If there is any element of violent abuse, then we always advise that you seek advice, and of course, you run from that relationship.
That's a very sensitive, issue you've talked about, abuse. Oftentimes, we look at it from the aspect of domestic abuse, physical violence, physical assault, and all of that. As a financial expert / marriage counselor on the basis of your job, at what point will you recommend that a spouse should leave a marriage if the person is suffering financial abuse? Because financial abuse is also a thing in marriages. So at what point will you subscribe to that?
For the spouse, either the male or the female, to leave a marriage. Now, financial abuse is very difficult to even detect.
Okay.
Because we've always seen that even those who are involved currently don't even know.
Okay.
Because like I said, the spouse, the abuser, they are very skillful. And they make it look as if they love you so much. And are doing this thing for you. Without you knowing that they are abusing you. They do it deliberately. Very subtle.
Okay.
You prevent the young woman or the man from working.
Financial abuse?
That's financial abuse.
Okay.
Then you are so strict when it comes to their own budget.
Financial abuse.
But when it comes to yourself, you say, oh, I'm doing it for you, not for your sake. That's financial abuse. And mind you, there is no violence. That is the most difficult part of it. There is no violence.
So there's really nothing to hold on to.
Nothing to hold on, no violence. And they just do it so subtly. They go and use your card and do certain transactions without even telling you.
Financial abuse.
And when there are issues, you say, it's not because of you. It is you that is making me behave in this way.
Gaslighting.
And when they do something, they are very skillful at coming to apologize. In this part of the world, we don't understand what is flour. They don't go and get flour and come and start talking to her. There was one naughty movie I watched sometime, and the young lady told the guy, what is this one? Is it not bitter leaf? I go chop her, But they come very skillful. And after that, you embrace them again. Gradually, they block you from all your relatives. You won't even know. And he will tell you he's protecting you.
Okay.
Before you know what, little violence will start.
So in about 30 seconds, at what point do you subscribe to a spouse suffering financial abuse to leave? Where's that breaking point?
When it becomes clear that your partner is not ready to stop, and you have seen all these symptoms. You have spoken to a therapist, then
you
leave.
All right. For the want of time, we have to wrap up segment. Thank you so much.
But before we go, we need to start a new topic by Monday. What is being equal? Financial stress in marriages. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Fakoha, and thank you, our amazing viewer, for being with us through Monday to date. It's a Friday, and trust me, it's the end of the week. I will leave you with a quote from Avadunaraf that says, "I'm not going to continue knocking that old door that doesn't open for me. I'm going to create my own door and walk through that. I'm not going to keep walking through an old door, knocking that old door that doesn't open for me. I'm going to create my own door and walk through it." And that's quotes for the day. Do have an amazing weekend and happy independence. My name is Margaret Opara.
And I'm Samson Olodi. Happy Independence, Nigeria. Do have a great sporting weekend.